regret it in 2022 at Tip Top Snack Bar.
Hello everybody, and welcome to yet another Swis Jon Show. I am Swis, and I'm here with my friend John. How are you, Jonathan?
Hello, I'm doing very good. Long time no see. I'm glad that you're back.
Yes, absolutely. So today we are having a lot of topics. So our main show will be about the upcoming Philips auctions and the pieces that we think are more interesting to talk about. But I think first, because I have been gone for so long, maybe we want to discuss the new watches that came out last week. Was it last week? I think it was.
Actually, we wanted to discuss that dodgy letter.
Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Second.
First of all, the dodgy Rolex letter.
By the way, hello, Dodger.
Hello, Dodger. Good to see you. Hello, Speedy. Good to see you too. So this letter, I just saw the Paul Thorpe video about it. So maybe you can explain a bit better. It was a letter, apparently an official letter from Rolex, who were saying that they would cut production because of, what was it, an energy costs or?
Yes. So I put the letter here on the page. So it was a letter. I'm going to read it for everybody, just in case that it's too small.
Hello,
letter to authorized dealers, clients, group members, and stuff. And hello, Boxer, by the way, Boxer 1200. So, dear all, regarding Federal Council decisions on gas shortages, cut in gas consumption. The energy crisis in Europe is a difficult time for everyone. As we know, Switzerland imports 75% of its gas from Germany. And as it depends entirely on imports for its gas, the decision has been taken by the government to adapt to the supply problems as a consequence of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Rolex SA has taken the initiative to volunteer in cutting its gas consumption, primarily for the heating of our factory, by almost half. As recommended by the Swiss government, we will aim to cut consumption in the winter months from end of October 2022 to end of March 2023. The government's plea to spare gas reserves will have a direct impact in this year's production. Our factories will start working at half capacity effective immediately. As a consequence, all production starting October 2022 to March 2023 will be delayed by approximately 4 to 6 months. It is during times like this that we must remain united, cooperative, and understanding of each other. We thank you for your cooperation and ongoing support. Meilleure salutation, Jean-Frédéric Dufour.
Oh my God! There's a typo. I never saw it.
Not only that. not only that.
That is awesome.
So there are so many red flags there's so many. I'm guilty as fuck for my job English, but even I can spot out some grammatical errors. The meilleure salutation should be meilleur with an e.
Yes.
By the way, Europeans write the date not October 17th, but Europeans
17th
write
of October.
17th of October. I'm not sure if authorized dealers are addressed like that by Rolex. I think they are authorized resellers or something like that. So I think
I
the
don't know,
authorized
but-
dealer is between those social media. So I'm not sure. What is the biggest red flag is that this letter mentions the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which is real, but I doubt that a global company like Rolex would put such a political statement out, and I'm pretty sure they won't mention that Switzerland is depending on Germans' gas.
I mean, to me, the biggest red flag is, guys, just for your information, Switzerland's electricity comes from more than 80% from hydraulic energy. So we don't really care about gas, to be honest.
But aren't you heating with gas? Are you heating with electricity?
It depends. I would say...
But the right term would be natural gas. So gas is another error, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
in
that's
that
true.
letter. So
Yeah, that
so
is
they
true.
they would say they would entirely on imports of its natural gas. So this letter is so full of flaws, and I'm 100% sure that this is totally bogus.
Oh no, it is 100% bogus.
So guys, relax. Rolex watches are around the corner for everybody of us. So.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we can stop that breaking news and just put that where it belongs, in the bin.
Okay. So, let's talk about the new watches that came out last week. Shall we start with Patek Philippe? So
Yeah, if we need to.
yeah, there are these two fine models right here. So a calendar chronograph. I think it's a split chronograph, perpetual calendar. That is quite nice, impressive. There is something I don't like. Well, two things that really make me grind my teeth. Very minute details, but here there is an inverted moon. I don't know why it's inverted, to be honest. I don't like it because now I can see a smiley face. That's the only thing I can see, 2 eyes and a smiley face. And as always...
I was waiting for a ball sack comment from you.
As always, look, it says 3, 5, 7, 6, 11.
Yeah.
Why? Why do they do this? I mean, come on.
I thought that you would take a greater offense from those holes. I've been calling that, when I had my conversations with the collector's friend. Yeah, I was calling it the Swiss cheese dial.
I'm okay with those, actually.
Okay.
Because so this is the day-night indicator, and this is a leap year indicator.
I know.
You know,
I know.
Yeah, it's useful. I don't know. I'm okay with that. And it is symmetrical. At least there is one on each side.
Keep in mind we have OC here in the comments, and he will rip this thing into pieces. So, but
what do you think about the other one? So, Salmon dial chronograph world time.
What I'd really like is they copied Chopard's pattern for dials in the center.
Yeah. Or Breguet's pattern for dials.
Yeah, but Chopard came in mind when I first saw that. You remember those LECs?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I can live with the watch. I still like the blue one better, that they issued a couple of years ago. but that's okay for me.
I like it. I think the chronograph is an overcomplication. I would love to see this one just with the world time. Does it exist like this, just with the world time? I
Yeah,
don't think
a world timer, but not in this color combination.
not. Yeah, I would love to see a world timer with this dial right here. That would be really nice.
Okay.
Other than that, I really like it. I like the case. Everything is good.
What we have to, and I'm mentioning that with a purpose, the price for this perpetual calendar chronograph manual with a mono pusher is $340,000 US dollars, and we will come back later on that price. Hello, Voulez-vous, good to see you, and Cherish Time Watch is also in the comments.
Oh, good to see you. So yes, I think both watches are really nice. Really nice. I like it. This being said, there is another watch from Patek Philippe that came out, and I think you have some strong opinions about this one.
Yes.
So it is called the what was it? The Destro Patek Philippe 5373P split seconds mono pusher in platinum.
Is it the official wording, Destro? I don't think that
I
Patek
hope not. I hate this. I hate this wording.
I hope that Patek is not calling it Destro. So
I think it's just 5373P.
Yeah. So yes, that is very obviously a left-hander watch, and I'm so angry and I'm so mad at Patek for doing that. How do you feel about this watch?
To be honest, I think it's completely unnecessary, and yeah, I really wonder why they did that. Just is it? I don't know. Is it because of Rolex?
That is exactly my point. As far as
because
I know,
if it is, it just means that Patek is following whatever everyone else is doing, and it's a bad message, in my opinion. Otherwise, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly why I'm so furious about this watch.
And what makes me even more furious is that I really love the watch. I think it's awesome, but
it's
this
beautiful.
thing just ruins it.
It ruins me on two different levels. First of all, I'm totally mad that a year after Rolex introduced that left-hand GMT, and 3 years after, or 4 years after Tudor made that left-hand Pelagos, as far as I know, now Patek Philippe wakes up and does such a Destro watch, and they do it with a watch that costs $500,000. So they could have done it with any other watch. It's sloppy because they, just like Rolex, they just turned the movement 180 degrees, which is sloppy. With a watch 500,000 euros, sorry, Patek, I expect a little bit more attention. So why not constructing a mechanism that this reset button is on the top and not at 8 or anything like that? Then I would forgive you, but it just shows Rolex is the leader and Patek is following. And that is really upsetting me. Yes. It also upsets me, those ugly red hands. That is not Patek Philippe, excuse me. That is not Patek. That is a Lego watch.
Ouch. I think it's nice. Maybe they want to follow up with the, they released the previous split second. It was, I think, a blue dial with red hands. I think they wanted to make it like a follow-up of this watch.
Yeah, but I think the red hands are not that signal red, just like this fire truck red. So it's really it just makes me mad. The case is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's much nicer than the previous one that we saw. But now comes the price. This is over $500,000. This is also a manual chronograph rattrapante with perpetual calendar. Why is this bloody watch 200,000 more than the other one? Calling Swiss?
Maybe it's much more exclusive. I don't know.
Well, this is in platinum. I think the other
it's-
one is in white gold, but yeah.
The other one is not a mono pusher, though, was it?
It is a central pusher, but it has two pushers and not only one.
Well, this one is a real mono pusher, you know.
Yeah. The other one has a central pusher. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one, yeah, it has a central pusher here. But
oh, we have Dirk Diggler here in the comments.
For the split. This one is basically for the split.
Yeah.
This is a mono pusher with a split. I think this would be the split button action.
Yeah,
and here you have the pushers for the date.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with this watch. Maybe you heard that. I totally love the case. I like the normal version of this watch. It's really nice, but in my opinion, it's overpriced in comparison to the other one.
Hello, Design Atelier. Good to see you. Also, I'm not so sure about this aperture here for the day and date, but at least they are well hidden. So I give it a pass. And look, it's another Swiss cheese style.
Yeah, but if you see the apertures for the day of the week and for the month, it's much nicer on the other one. It's much nicer
because it is at 12 o'clock.
Exactly. Yes. So that is much nicer. Sorry. It's just the case that is nicer on the other one.
Oh yeah. Well, this case is amazing. Okay, let's go to next watches. What is this?
Oh, Design Atelier is here in the house and he has a question.
What do you guys think people are thinking about us when we take wrist shots in public? Well, probably they think you are just taking a selfie like everybody else.
Everybody's staring at their smartphones.
Yeah.
They're not looking at other people anymore. Yes.
I think it's really part of the norm now. People just taking random photos of themselves. I think they don't even think about whatever.
I tried not to do my wrist shots in public. So I'm trying to get around the problem.
You don't want to be too nerdy in public.
Well, I'm nerdy enough without wrist shots, I would say, but that's okay. Okay, let's move on to AP.
AP with those crazy gem set watches. I have to give them credit. They actually made the tapisserie dial with diamonds. Well,
absolutely okay
precious stones. They are so over the top. It's actually crazy. But so it is regular royal look, you know. It is in gold, entirely gem set. Even the crown, you can see it here. Even the crown has
I love the crown.
Gem set. Yeah, this is nice. To be honest, I really love those watches. But this might be a bit too much. But there are some nice ones. But wait, the crazy thing is available, limited to 2 sets of 10 pieces. So there are 10 colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think they only make 2 sets of
in 2 different sizes. So there is only one in 41 and one
41
in 37.
and 37.
Yeah.
Which is so what's the every time something comes out like this, I'm wondering what is the purpose of making those watches. Clearly it's not to make money because they only made 1 set of each, but they want to convey a message. So in your opinion, what do AP want to say with something like this?
I think this is just an attention-seeking attempt to generate headlines.
Yeah.
Or what do you think is the message here?
I think more and more AP is realizing that they are becoming the most hyped brand in the world. I think they are surpassing Richard Mille right now. And they are capitalizing hard on this, and they just came out with what I think is the least effort. They just remade the ceramic in blue, and
Yeah.
everyone was talking about it, and they were like, holy hell, we just you just made a little something, and the world goes crazy.
Yeah, and
And I
those
think they
were
just wanted
outsourced.
to make something really strong, like a big throw a rock in the puddle.
Yeah. I think it is a very effective or efficient way to generate some waves. Certainly, they outsourced this kind of work to this Geneva company that has just been acquired by Patek Philippe. But I'll give them that. It is so difficult to find those
It is
gemstones.
really, really well done. I mean,
Yes.
when you look at it, it's wow.
The making, so those are computer generated images, I would say. So but to find those gemstones in a consistent color is so bloody difficult. So I have the biggest respect. And those watches consist of 800 gemstones, which are cut into around 180 different shapes and measurements. So that is a big puzzle to do. And my hat's off to the people who make those. But it's certainly not in the AP ateliers. I don't
Other
remember
than Jacob Arabo and those other crazy diamond jewelers, it's something so hard to do. And it is. I mean, it is impressive, and that with that message, it really works.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Voulez-vous has a good point. This is hard to replicate. I agree here.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe. The thing what I really like is the memes that came out of it, because obviously so many people were almost outraged. Like they were like, "Oh, this is insulting," or whatever. And some good memes have come from it. So this is the first one. What do you think of this?
I like the other one better that you showed me yesterday.
Yes, I have it just there, and this is my favorite. This one.
That is just brilliant.
This is so good. I love it. And it comes from a guy called
Shame on Wrist. That is just like Lange on a NATO strap.
Yes, exactly. This is amazing.
So Desanati said, Piaget has my respect for tasteful gem setting. Not sure if you have seen the last show that I did solo, where I was showing those gem set Piaget and other makers ladies' watches. And I agree with you. This is plastering watches with gemstones, and the watches that we've seen 2 weeks ago are a different class, and take much more effort. But it's still very interesting and very AP style, because they replicated their dial now with gem set stones. Yes.
Okay, maybe a quick word, very quick, about the new Cartier Pebble. So this is the old one. Obviously, it was inspired by an old model, this one, and they just remade the Cartier Pebble. I don't know what's the French word, because Pebble is English. I don't know its French name, but there it is, right there. What do you think of it?
I totally love it. I've never seen it before. Never seen it. Never came across. Instantly fell in love. The combination with the round and the square. Totally love it. Totally typical Cartier. Nobody else could do that. Unfortunately, only limited to 150. I've been checking Tim Wright's channel yesterday, because I was just checking if he behaves, and I came across with a comment of one of the members who said he ordered one and got it confirmed.
Ooh, nice.
No, Dodger. It's not a quartz watch. It's a real watch. As far as I know, it has the pinhole movement.
I love how if it's quartz, it's not real. But yes, I am not very fond of a square inside of a circle. This is usually also why I'm not very enthusiastic about square watches, because basically it's a circle inside a square. But yeah, I mean, I totally get people who like these sort of designs, and yeah, I mean, why not?
You know what I
really,
hope?
tell
That
me.
they make an issue of 100 in platinum with the red dial.
And you get one allocated.
Oh no! I have other watch projects. Actually, Design Atelier just mentions I have one watch project, and I asked Design Atelier if he could help me with a drawing, and he apologizes that he's flooded with work. But I have a Dr. Dremel project that
Ooh.
I even haven't talked to you about, and
Ooh.
I love changing some of my watches, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna be forward. You know that I ordered that Celadon watch from
Yes.
Benchi,
Yes. Oh no,
the
you're not
Starry
gonna
Night,
Dremel it.
the Starry Night.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some substantial change on that.
Oh God.
But I'm not gonna tell any more until Design Atelier has made the drawing.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
I think Swiss, you will confirm that this is an awesome idea.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm interested. We'll see in the future.
Yeah, I'm happy, Design Atelier, that you didn't spill the beans. So this is just between you and I, and to your choosing. You will give me the green light when I can show the drawing. Then, okay?
Okay, I have one mystery watch
Okay.
that I want John's opinion on,
I have no idea. Oh
and it
no.
is this Norquin watch,
Okay.
or Norquin, I don't know. So basically, it is a time-only watch. It was made for the New York marathon, limited edition. It has a carbon case, and I think it looks pretty nice. The movement inside is
It's a
the same
Tudor
as Tudor. Yeah,
insignia. Mhm.
it has the Kinesi inside.
Kinesia. Mhm.
Um, it is priced at $5,000, so I would say it's slightly overpriced. It would be better if it was like 3 or 4, but given that it has a carbon case, I don't know. Maybe. What do you think?
I'm not a fan. I love carbon fiber for cases. You know that.
Yeah.
I think it's over designed, over engineered. It is too modern. I like the screws on the lugs, and I know that they put a lot of effort. I think they even consulted Jean-Claude Biver, if I know that. But I can't love it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I think it's really good looking for once. So I really enjoy this watch. I think it's a tad too pricey, but maybe it could be explained by the carbon case. But I thought it was a good release from Nokia.
So the question: this watch or my $4,000
No,
Doxa
I would get
carbon?
the Doxa.
Okay,
I would get the Doxa.
no more questions from my side.
Very good. Okay, I think we have talked enough about all of these stupid, unworthy watches.
Yes.
Now
Now
comes
let's
the
put the
important part. So, the 5th and 6th November of this year, in that means 2 or 3 weeks, there will be the new Geneva watch auction in Geneva by Philips. And as always, they have all kinds of crazy watches, some that you have never seen before. And John and I have thought that it would be interesting to select a few pieces that we thought were interesting enough to talk about. and just give you our opinion on the watches, right? So, Jonathan, how about we do one of yours, then one of mine, then
Yes.
one of yours, and one of mine. Starting
Okay.
with yours, this one.
Oh, you prepared all the numbers. Okay.
Oh yeah, I prepared everything. Please.
So, well, I know that Marco Ferrante doesn't know
I
doesn't
remember,
like the
yes.
watch. I totally disagree with him. I would go to war with him over that watch. So basically, the story is that Zenith had still has a lot of competing movements that were competing at the Neuchâtel chronometer competitions. So those are high-end movements in terms of precisions. They were never meant to be put into a wristwatch. The decoration is very basic. They didn't even have a shock resist, a shock absorber. So basically, Philips approached them, approached Zenith if they could do something out of those competition movements. So at the end of the day, Zenith went into their old warehouse or in their museum and took those competition movements. They gave it to Kari Voutilainen, who then overhauled them, who mildly decorated them, upgraded them, and put them into a case, I think also made by Kari Voutilainen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I think,
the
yeah.
finishing on the movement and on the case was made by.
Yes, and the dial is also Kari Voutilainen.
Yes, of course, yes.
So basically what they did is they took a Ferrari race engine and put it into a Kari Voutilainen watch. And I find that so crazy and so good that the price of 110 or 120 of those white gold watches was justified, in my opinion. It's not overpriced. Zenith is not really making money out of 10 watches, and now they are making a piece unique. I think it also goes for charity in platinum with that pink dial, and that is just the icing on the cake. So it's absolutely gorgeous, and I hope that this watch raises a lot of money. And all my respect to Zenith, who were willing to do that with their crown jewels, and also a big respect to Kari Voutilainen, because Kari Voutilainen initially said no, and he only said yes because Zenith is family owned by Mr. Arnaud, and they have some relation or family relation, and he ultimately agreed to do that. So I find it fantastic.
Yes. So it has basically crazy good construction, crazy good finishing, and a crazy good story behind it.
Yes, what I really like, and maybe we can highlight that on the movement.
Oh,
not on the dial, on the movement. You see those two big wheels on top of the mainspring. Those tooth gears are beveled by hand, and I see that more and more on high-end watches. I've first seen it on the Sven Andersen World Timer, and I see it more and more as a sign of very high horology. So those are hand beveled, and then the teeth are hand polished, each one. So a lot of work also.
Okay, I cannot zoom more on the image.
And you Swis are on the record that you have great respect that people put some effort into watch projects, and
yes.
I think it can't get any better than that.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. I wouldn't pay $100,000 for it, but as you can say, for some people, maybe this is justifiable. And yeah, I
So
understand that.
voulez-vous, as far as I remember, the regular one, white gold with a black dial, it was 10 pieces and they flew off the shelves. They were 120,000. This is now platinum a piece, unique, and I would guess that it will be significantly higher. I hope that they make at least 300,000-400,000 on that.
Well, we'll see on the 5th of November.
Are you visiting, Philips?
Yes, I will be visiting on November the 3rd.
Please make some pictures.
As well as Antiquorum Christie's and Sotheby's, because
okay.
As usual, and this is awesome, they all pick the same date, so people only have to travel once to Geneva, and basically you can do an epic tour of all the auction houses.
I can see some credit cards being maxed out in advance.
yeah, absolutely.
We have Muhammad Ali in the house. Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you, and Crappy Luxury, good to see you too.
Chapters 1 to 7. Oh, he's talking about the longitude. So Crappy Luxury, you know the book Longitude about John Harrison?
I am afraid I don't.
Okay, so Crappy and Voulez-vous started a kind of watch blog on Crappy's channel, and they're discussing Longitude, this particular book. I recommend to everyone to read it. So basically, it is a story of John Harrison's life, and it started. He started with solving a problem of mariners. That was the time of wall clocks, and a wall clock is not good on a moving ship. And it was a challenge or put out by the British government, and they put an enormous sum out to someone who was able to solve the navigation issue, which then led to more precise watches and at the end to marine crime meters.
Mohammed Ali is asking, you think the auction prices will reflect the current situation in the secondary market, or will the prices be as big as in previous auctions? So in my opinion, the ultra rich don't really care about all of this situation. If they want a watch, they will pay the price. So in my opinion, we will see on a few watches, and I have a few in mind, where the price will skyrocket to some crazy million figure.
Yes, and I agree with you. But for example, on Patek Philippe 5711, I don't expect the prices to go even further. Right. So I expect some corrections on hyped watches, which includes then AP Royal Oaks, Patek Nautilus and Steel, and probably the Tiffany Rolex. I don't expect super bargains, but I think many of the watches that we're talking today will not take a dump.
Yes, basically, there is you won't see $100,000 Hulk again, I think.
No.
So yeah, as John just said, we selected some watches that we thought were, a bit more interesting and out of the box. So you won't see all the crazy Daytonas. I don't think we even have one Daytona. Or I think there is one Rolex that John chose.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So let's continue.
So yeah, let's continue. And this was one of my choices, J.N. Shapiro. So this is one of, in contrary to the Zenith we just saw, this is one of Marco's favorites. Because J.N. Shapiro is a contemporary watchmaker from the US, I think he is.
Yes.
And he is also very well known for some very intricate dial guilloche patterns. As you can see here, it has a very beautiful dial construction with 1, 2, 3 different patterns. And you can see this is his signature there. It's hard. I cannot zoom more, sadly. But basically, there is... Marco calls it something infinite pattern weave or something like this. Well, it's one of his signature patterns of guillochage, and he always makes some beautiful, beautiful dials. The case construction, yeah.
You know that OC is now smoking a cigarette because he said guillochage.
Guillochage.
Yes. What I really like is that he didn't use Breguet Pomme hands. He designed.
He still has his, his own. So it has that very English style of watchmaking, but it you can definitely see that it is a J.N. Shapiro. The movement is amazing behind.
Yep.
I think this is awesome.
You know who makes that movement?
I don't know.
It is a daughter company by Marco Hein.
Marco Hein? Oh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow. UWD, that is Uhrenwerke Dresden, and that is a sister company of Lange & Heine.
Okay. Awesome, because I chose the Lange & Heine that we'll see.
Yeah, later. I know. That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah, this is amazing. And yeah, a very special watch. You don't see that every day. Oh, look at that. That is crazy. Beautiful. And the estimate is really conservative. 15 to 30,000. I think around 30,000 is a very good price. I think it might go over 50. I'm not sure though, because J.N. Shapiro is not.
I think we have to ban Dodger for that comment. Not finish on that movement. What are you talking about? It is just subdued. It is just subdued, but there is anglage.
Maybe he's talking about that there is no Côte de Genève or no, basically no engraving on the top of the.
So Dodger, no Geneva stripes, no perlage doesn't mean no decoration. I tell you that.
What is important here is the beveling, the anglage, and you can see that every piece has beautiful and substantial anglage onto it, and it looks really good. I think that this is really good.
Yeah, it's it looks bland, yes, but it serves a purpose.
Yes, it also, when you think of it, the dial from far doesn't look that impressive, but when you look at the pattern, now you can see, oh yeah, now this looks amazing. I think it's the same kind of message that wants to be conveyed.
I'm sorry, but I personally find the proportions of the case off.
Really?
I think the bezel is too high.
Maybe.
And
here.
There is too much material on the bezel and on the case. I think the watch would look nicer if it had a slimmer bezel and
a slimmer Riho, maybe.
Yes.
You think the Riho is a bit
too high?
Yeah, too high.
It's too high.
I think it's okay. It doesn't strike me that. I see what you mean, but it doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, awesome.
Guys, other than that, it's an awesome watch, of course.
J.N. Shapiro, master watchmaker from the US. You guys can be proud of him.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Just one little bit about movement finishing and those Geneva stripes. When I was talking to Mr. De Haas, who is responsible for the product development at Lange & Söhne, we were talking about decorations on movement bridges, and he told me that the Swiss invented those Geneva stripes to hide the scratches that the watchmakers made on the bridges and plates.
Yes,
so that is the
true.
reason why they finished them.
Yes, that is true. And The perlage, on the other hand, has its usefulness because it might capture the dust that is remaining inside of the watch when they close it, and also the
oil.
very fine metal particles
Mhm.
that may shave off of the wheels or something
Yeah.
like this.
So voulez-vous, best regards to the umlaut. That is something beautiful of the German language, very complicated and something to struggle. Just because voulez-vous criticize my choppy English now I can triumph again because I'm perfect in umlaut. So okay.
Okay, next one.
Mhm.
Okay, one of yours.
Ooh, yeah.
Now,
I promised this particular watch to Dodger.
now I want to hear your take because
Which is the number, because I want to pull it up as well.
number
128
137.
or something. 137, 1 second. So that is Debitoon.
With
It's
a
ugly as hell.
crazy case construction. Oh, at least we agree on that. I think it's hiking ugly. And
Yes.
the worst part is that those arms here are actually animated. So it has those flying lugs, quote unquote, construction which is pretty cool, by the way, that follows the curve of your wrist, if you see what I mean, like on the DB28.
Yeah. That is his shtick, yes. But he has on the DB28, he has it on both sides, not only on one.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is just on this side.
No, I just put that up because of the balance wheel.
Oh, the balance wheel. Okay, let's have a look at the balance wheel.
So this is a unique piece. This is a prototype, and this is a balance wheel. And basically, the balance wheel consists of a ring and of a silicon disc.
Yeah, it's a disc.
And on later watches, you can see the hairspring on top, so you could see that thing moving. What I find cool is you can't see that moving. And in my opinion, that is pretty neat.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So the watch moves, but you can't see it moving, and that is just what caught my attention, and that's the reason why I found that watch so cool. Other than that, it's a butt ugly watch.
And also, is it me or is it has some damage on the dial thing? Well, you said it's a prototype, so
It's a prototype. Yes,
yeah,
I think
okay.
they were working back and forth. So yeah.
Yeah. And it has a power reserve at the back, the ticker's favorite complication.
By the way, have you seen that Mr. Spock Uhrwerk watch? I think we must talk about that on the next show.
Maybe I don't know what you're talking about, but oh yeah, you mean the one that where the
that makes a Vulcan
numbers
greetings.
separate themselves.
Yeah,
yes. I even had it in my hands.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, in Geneva Watch Days when I had the interview with the CEO of Uhrwerk.
That's great. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take yours, the next one.
Okay. Okay, so mine is a Vacheron that I really, really like. So it is from the Harmonie line, Vacheron Harmonie.
So yes. Swis, when I chose my favorites, I was skipping over Vacheron because I thought Swis will be
I would. So Vacheron Harmonie with a chronograph function, with a pulsation dial. Why not?
Absolutely beautiful. Should we explain the pulsation dial?
Can you please do it? Yeah.
Okay. So this basically is a doctor's watch. So have a look at the big second hand that is at 0. So usually that is used by doctors who then calculate the pulse of their patients. So it works like that. They check the wrist of their patient, they feel the pulse, then they stop the chronograph, and they count to 30 beats. And when 30 beats are over, they stop the chronograph. And then on this red printed scale, you can see the pulse per minute.
Yes,
that
and
is
this
the
is why it
application.
says
Mhm.
graduated for 30 pulsations.
Yeah. Many
So
doctors' watches are graduated with 15, as far as I know.
yeah, well, maybe they wanted a bit more precision with 30, or you know.
I think
What I
mm,
what I really like is that because of this 30 that they chose, it's basically a tachymeter, but that goes twice as fast, because the
oh
60 is down there when usually the
yeah
60 would be up there. Well,
oh
it's just a little thing.
that never caught my attention.
Yeah,
Good point.
but
Mhm.
it is because they chose 30, which is a multiple of
Yeah,
60. Um, yeah, other than that, I love the dial. Beautiful. I love the case. I was talking about not really liking square shaped watches, but
yeah.
this looks
There you go.
amazing. I love
Mhm.
it. Very classy, very, it this is very Vacheron. I just love it. And
So,
big Mhm.
voulez-vous, if you're asking was kostet, what's the price? This is an auction, and we can't tell you. This is a limited edition. I think the retail was like 50,000 US dollars, but nobody really knows. So this is an auction. Can be 30, can be 100. We don't know.
Yeah. And maybe you have spotted it is another mono
Monopusher.
pusher, and the movement on this is, oh, it's amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And look, it even has an engraved balance
Yeah,
cock.
very
Uh, yeah,
lange type.
yeah, very beautiful. All the anglage is amazing. What's happening? Why is he not
I
happy?
think it's also a Geneva seal, isn't it?
Yes, the Geneva
Yeah.
seal on the movement and on the case,
Yeah.
which means it is kind of recent, because I think they only did this from 2012 and above. I'm not sure. But yeah. Oh, yeah, it is for the 260th anniversary.
So Swiss,
Number 15 of 200.
I
Yeah.
can't criticize you for your choice. Now comes the big question: this
Mm.
watch or the Vacheron 1921? I think is the
Oh,
square driver's watch.
I'm taking this one.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, I'm taking this one. I had the 1921 on my wrist.
Mhm.
So the watch is awesome, but I don't think it really fits my wrist. Not fits my wrist. I don't think it looks good on me. It's not really my style of watch. I think it's a bit too dressy, if it makes sense. I don't really know,
Just
but it just
I'm
feels a
just trying
bit
to pull it up.
off. Yeah. It is the one with a slanted dial, the 1921 historique. I tried it in 40, I tried it in 36, and in both cases, it just doesn't really fit on me, I guess. But this historique, oh my god, I would, I would take it 10 times a day.
Okay,
I love it.
I agree with you, and let me say that the mono pusher looks much nicer without that additional pusher that Vacheron is doing
Because
on.
okay, so for context, they released last year a split-second chrono with the same dial composition, but because it had a split second, they added an additional pusher here, and Jonathan thought that it was
Oh,
poorly
I hate
constructed,
it. I hate it.
and he says it's like it has a big wart on the case.
Exactly, yes.
Wait,
And
so let's
there is even a chronograph that has two of them, so it's even worse.
okay. Okay, so that was my pick.
Mhm.
So yeah, estimate I would say about 50,000, maybe a bit more. I'm not sure. 50,000.
I think
It's
it's
not
going
that
more because
it's
this is a
not that
limited edition.
popular, It's not that popular, the Harmony.
I think Pendulum told me that even for him, and he's a big Vacheron collector, it was difficult to get this.
Oh,
So he
really?
was
Okay.
privileged getting that from the shop. So don't be
Right.
surprised if that goes
Okay. Well,
significantly
we'll
higher.
see. We'll see. We'll see. I will
Mhm.
be definitely checking this when I'm at the exposition. Okay, one of yours.
Oh, yes. So
Quartier tank à guichet.
what
Guichet
is
in
it?
French is the aperture there. It's a tank with apertures.
What number is that? That I'm just pulling it up.
This is number 95.
95.
Yes,
One
95.
second. So, like everybody knows, I'm a big fan of the tank à guichet. I can't help myself. I find it so unusual for Cartier because of the display of the time, and we found out that the hour display is changing really quick. You were afraid that it takes half an hour or something like that. The engraving Dudley, All My Love, Ruth gives a nice touch. But what is so special compared to the other tank à guichets? Did you spot the difference, Swiss?
Is it the crown? I'm not
Yes,
sure.
the crown is
Yeah,
at 12.
the
So
crown is at 12.
on the tank à guichets that we saw previously, the crown was at 3, or where it would be when if it would be a normal watch. But here the crown is at 12. And the story is that Cartier made 3 of those watches in platinum, 3 of them in white gold, and 3 of them in yellow gold for very VIP clients. So the watch is slightly smaller than the other guichets, and they made altogether 9 of them with the crown at 12 and the slightly smaller case. And that is what I found really cool.
So, what do you think about the anglage on the case? Look at this.
To me, it seems that the watch has not been worn or really well touched up.
Yeah, absolutely. It is in very good condition.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, but we know a little bit how Cartier operates. So, if they made only 9 of them in a special edition, you can imagine how VIP those people were when they've been chosen to get one. That was in the year 1996.
Ooh, the estimate from 40 to 80, that's a lot.
Yes, when I first saw it, I thought, okay, the tank à guichets gained some traction since we covered it, but that sounded very high. But keeping in mind this is so limited and so special.
Dodger argues that it looks like a coffin.
Well, I don't argue against it from a shallow point of view, or not. I don't want to insult Dodger. You can say it's just a piece of metal with 2 holes, but I find it super unusual even for Cartier, and it just shows what types of design Cartier is able to do. We had the Pebble before, and this tank à guichet is also part of their collection. So 2 super different watches for very rich people with excellent taste. And I think that is just the beauty of Cartier, that they're doing those smash hits that and the design lasts for so long, and we are just able to rediscover those beautiful designs. And I think it's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we go to the next one?
Yes, please.
Oh, yes.
Swiss, why did you choose that?
So, it's not my favorite watch of the lot, but I think it's very interesting just because of the engraving on the case of the watch, and also the work on the dial. The disposition. So this is a perpetual calendar. I think that's it, just a perpetual calendar.
Yeah, retrograde
But
pointer date.
yes, and the case is so, I mean, beautifully decored. It has what do you call it, a hunter case back, and every part of the watch case is beautifully engraved, handmade, of course. and even it matches with the pattern at the center of the dial. And I think this is something that we don't see anymore. At least not, very, very rarely on those very rare subscription pieces. But
Mm.
I would love to see more of it, to be honest, because this is awesome. I don't know what you think about it. I love it.
I can't disagree with you here. So I appreciate the craftsmanship and the engraving, and it's super nice. By the way, on the front, it just looks like it has never been repolished or redone,
Yeah,
because those
awesome.
engravings look awful when you polish the watch up. So I appreciate the craftsmanship, but to be honest, just for me, I would put this kind of watch on my wrist if it wouldn't have the engraving. With the engraving, I wouldn't put it on the wrist just
You would
because
be
of the
too
engraving.
scared of
No, it's just
no,
not my style.
just
I'm an
not your
old man, you know that, and you you
Yes.
repeat that. But
Yeah.
I'm not that old, and no, it's not for me. It's just a little bit too expressive, a little bit too outgoing. It's not my style.
Yeah, I understand. I love it. I don't know if I had the chance. I don't know, as you said, I don't know if I would wear it that often, but I think I would.
You
I
know
think
that super complication that they made a couple of years ago, that had also that
yeah,
very intricate,
yeah,
intrinsic engraving,
intricate, yeah.
and in my opinion, it ruined the entire watch.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the craftsmanship, and I know how bloody difficult it is, but I would prefer if they would have left it alone.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's all I wanted to highlight.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a fucking expensive watch, but
Oh yes. Mhm.
yeah, there we go. Okay, next one of yours, Jonathan. Hey, look,
Mhm.
a
Which number?
Rolex number
Rolex. Oh
101.
yes. I just did that to piss off the audience because we say as little Rolex as possible. So what I found interesting on this is it's called a zero graph. Never heard of it before,
Yeah, me
and
neither. Never heard of that before.
apparently it was a special edition made for Bayer in Zurich. So I think it is a kind of collaboration. Only a few have been made, and it is virtually also a monopusher because you only have one pusher. So it first of all it just records up to 1 minute, and start, stop, and reset
Yeah, it's
is
like
done by the
the
same.
what's it called? The Chronostop from Omega.
Yeah,
Same idea. Yeah.
yeah. So I just found it unusual, never heard about this watch, and I thought that we're going to share it with the audience,
Yeah.
particularly because parts of the audience are also interested in Rolex. So we should mention Rolex at least once.
So for a potentially unique Rolex, I think the
Mhm.
price is rather low,
Mhm.
25 to 50. I would say it goes over 100,000.
I think one factor is this watch is 32 millimeters because it was made in 1940. So the relatively small size may be against big results, but I hope that it goes over 100.
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, the condition is really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love it. And this is nice. Yeah. A unique Rolex, guys. Potentially. Okay. Next one. Oof. Oh, wow. Okay, Lang und Reine. One of the highest finishing in the industry of watchmaking, from Dresden in Germany, obviously. Beautiful watch. I just picked this watch because Lang und Heine, people don't really know about this watch, but I just have to show you this and you understand what it is all about. It's just some of the most beautiful movement, construction, and finishing. Absolutely amazing.
Dodger, no Geneva stripes here.
But you were saying that it was made by the same movement that was inside the, what was it called?
They have a daughter company that
Yeah.
that makes those movements for that Shapiro watch.
Yeah, it
So
was for the
there's some
Shapiro,
connections. Mhm, yes.
Yes.
What I
And-
really like is look at the tooth of that mainspring barrel. How sharp they are. They look like shark teeth,
Yes.
and I really like that.
Perfectly beveled.
Mhm.
Look at this. You can see how perfectly beveled
Yeah.
they are.
And polished. Yeah.
The gears have anglage, guys. You have to understand, the gears have anglage made by hand. I mean, this is some craftsmanship right there. And yeah, and all of the beautiful German tradition with the engraved balance cock.
Diamond
Amazing.
headstone.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it has a
Chaton.
diamond, especially for the balance wheel. Everything is just so good. The only thing I have against this watch is this third leg.
Oh yes.
But let's not talk about this.
No, I want to talk about that.
Okay,
because
let's talk
it
about
just
this.
drives me so it drives me so mad, and it is the same with Roger Dubuis, who makes
Yeah.
it also with the third lug. And I keep on saying it's just dating a supermodel with 3 legs. And people may argue, okay, so a leg is a good thing on a woman that you're dating, so you can't get enough of them. But
Yeah.
a third leg is just weird. Sorry, guys.
And
I hope that Mrs. Higgins is not listening to that.
why does she have 3 legs? And yes, obviously the dial, it's like it reminds me of Moritz Grossmann, very classical dials. Do you like this combo, the white metal with black dial? I think you like this combination.
I think it's beautiful. I think he can work a little bit on the logo.
Langunhain.
Yeah.
Dresden. Yeah, maybe. I like it. I like it. Very, very simple. You know, very. You don't need to be too fancy about it. But yeah, I like it. Estimate. The estimate is low too. I would say maybe 70,000-80,000. It might go. But yeah.
What is the retail on those? Do you know?
Oh,
I think 80.
Yeah, it would be close to 80,000-90,000, I think.
So OC, I think we will cover 163 a little bit later. Be patient.
Yeah,
Mr.
maybe.
GMT is here in the house.
Lady boy.
Long time no see, Mr. GMT. Good to see you back.
Okay, let's go to next one. This is one of yours.
Oh, yes. What is the number? 181?
This is 181.
Yes, just let me pull that up. So that is a race timer. I think it's called race timer, isn't it? Help me, Swis.
It's a lap timer.
Lap timer. So it is an AP Royal Oak concept, which is cool as it can get. And this has been made in collaboration with Michael Schumacher.
Yes.
And the very special thing about this one is the lap timer. On a shallow observant, it looks like a rattrapante, but it isn't. So this is the situation where this comes handy. You have a race car, and it does the first lap. So at the start of the first lap, you push the start button at 2, just like you usually do. When the lap is over and you're going into the second lap, you press the pusher at 9. What happens there then is that one of those central second hands stops, and the other one is starting from 0. So it then records the second lap, While you note the time of the first lap, when the car is finished with the second lap, and you push that pusher at 9 again, the hand goes back to 0, starts immediately, and the other one can be read. So this is a kind of changing or transferring mechanism to record and to stop intervals. Super complicated, as far as I know, never done before, never done back. And
only
this is
AP has done this, and the movement is
super
this is
complex.
nuts. Yeah, this is beautiful.
So 2 column wheels, that big clutch in the middle, and it's just beautiful. And those usually go for crazy money, as far as I know.
More than $500,000, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the carbon case? Yeah, like it?
Well, I love it. You know that I have my AP with a carbon case. The only problem is the titanium bezel, because that scratches, but you can't have it all. So
yeah, one of 221 pieces. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice.
But those are super collectible, and I think if someone is collecting a Royal Oak concept, that is the holy grail for them.
Absolutely. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay. FP jaune. So one that I picked amongst the many FP jaunes that you can see in this auction. They have everything, tourbillon, they have the résonance, but we already talked many times about all of these. I think this one we never really talked about. So this is called the centigraphe, and so it is basically a kind of sporty chronograph by FP Jaune. He made them in those dressy watches before. Now he also does the centigraphe S, in those
sports case.
Sports watches with the sporty bracelet. But I think this is really I love the disposition of the dials with those 3 subdials like this. How it works, it's basically so you have the 2 chronograph pushers over here. However, the chronograph seconds, so when you hit start, this guy starts to fly. It is basically
rotates like crazy.
Yeah, it is a foudroyante, as they call. So it spins like crazy. And I think I don't remember what's the repetition rate. I think it's 1/6 or 1/10 of a second. But he kind of cheats, and basically it is an analog mechanism, which means you can stop it mid-flight. And what this means is it is that you can stop it within a 1/100th of a second time window. As you can see, it is graduated all the way from 10, 20, 30, all the way to 100 up there. Wait, can you maybe zoom a bit more? You see, this is not 60, it's 100. So you stop the watch, it goes over here, and you say, okay, so it's X minutes, X seconds, and 1/90th of a second. And yes, this is why it is called the centigraphe. Cent in French is
so this hand goes around in 1 second, is that correct?
Yes, it spins every second. It does one.
Do we have a video of that?
Maybe I can find one. It's good suggestion. Let me find it. YouTube centigraphe. FP jaune centigraphe. Okay, so it is one of those sporty watches, but it is exactly the same. Oh, wait, what am I doing? This. So okay, you can see here, this is the foudroyante. Let's see it once again. So you
Yeah.
can see I think it is every 1/6 of a second. Basically like what's it called? The JLC duomètre also has
Yeah.
this crazy foudroyante. And you can see that this spins once every second, and you can stop it mid-flight. Can he show maybe one time? I don't think so.
Yeah, here it goes.
Yeah, whatever. Well, you can stop it mid-flight, and it will give you a precision of 1/100th of a second.
Daughter says, still looks like a gas mask in a round case.
Well said. Yes. Okay. But yeah, and this is why it's called the centigraphe. Cent in French is 100, so it's basically the 100th graph. And yeah, it's not talked very much. Let me bring this back. The movement is very nicely done, as usual for the later jaune watches. And yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because it's not very talked about, and I
Yeah,
think this looks awesome. Look at that! Look at that watch. That is awesome.
Well, I would say that I like the red of the hands much more than on that Patek Philippe Destin.
Yeah, it is 40 mil in diameter. And yeah, look at that. Now this is badass. That is cool. I would wear that. Yes. Estimate. I think it's a bit high. I'm not sure, but you know, FP Jaune always have those crazy collectors. They estimate between 80 to 160. It might go 500,000. Who knows? Because it's not that usual to see a centigraphe. You know, one of those dressy centigraphe. So yeah, that's it. Next we have Jonathan's A Lange und Söhne, number 209. Are you there, Jonathan?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, this is awesome.
So that is
Can
a
you-
piece unique by Lange und Söhne, and I'm having a difficult time to decide which one I like more. The one with the salmon dial and the black subdials that they made last year, or that one. Yeah, it is a piece unique that they presented on a car event called Hampton Court, and they made that a limited edition, and it will go out for charity for the Princess Trust that has been founded by King Charles. So I wish them all the best, and I hope that it gets a lot of money, and it's just beautiful. It's more or less a perfect Lange 1815 chronograph. Totally love it.
Yeah, so it says here,
Hunter case bag or not, I don't care. I just like the front.
Concours of Elegance, Hampton Court Palace. And this is yeah, and is it the first time that they did this, or they usually
I think
every year do
the one with the salmon dial with the black subdials also, as far as I know, also has the Hunter case.
I have to say I prefer this one.
So Dodger is now back to the topic. So he says, wow, nice movement. Okay, he's trying to make brownie points now.
Yeah, I love this watch. I have nothing to say against this.
Yeah.
This is
simple, classy.
Awesome. What's the size? Look, it's 39.
38.5. Yeah.
39. Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. What do you think of the price? It is estimate between 1 and 200,000.
That is a joke.
Do you think it's going to be much more?
400 to 500, I would guess.
Ooh, oh yeah. Okay.
A piece unique by Lange & Söhne. What else do you want?
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Back. Okay, Vacheron, not one of my favorites, but I think this one is interesting. So, a minute repeater Vacheron Constantin from the 1960s. Very simple watch. Time only with a minute repeater that you can see with this lever action over here. What I want to highlight is this movement right there. Because it is very interesting to see that this movement basically was used by everyone in the 60s who were making minute repeaters. And I saw a friend yesterday, and he has a Breguet minute repeater.
It looks the same. Also, Blancpain minute repeaters look the same.
Yeah. And basically, I really think they all used this exact same movement construction. I don't know who made this. I should have made my research, but I didn't.
I think I've read it somewhere. I think it's also a Piquet, but not Frédéric Piquet. It's a different Piquet. But
I don't know. We should have a look into it.
That is not according to our standards not to do this kind of research, I must say.
Yeah, I agree.
I tell you why I like this watch, because finally Vacheron presents a watch without those stupid tear-shaped lugs. Those are proper lugs, and it just looks beautiful, and I love it.
Yes, this looks amazing. And look at, I don't know. So this dial, it has like a sunray kind of fumé pattern. It looks amazing, and with the diamonds and everything, I think this is very, very nice. Very nice. But yeah, and I was saying my friend had a Breguet, and it was a Breguet from the early 2000s, and it still used that same movement.
Yeah.
So I don't know who, if someone has the patent, or I don't know who supplies those, but it was interesting to see that this watch from the 60s had that. The finishing is amazing, obviously, and very, very nice. It's in very, very nice shape. A few scratches on the bezel. Other than that, it's awesome.
Okay, Swis, you're getting carried away. Next one.
Yes. And I think the estimate is correct, between 1 and 200,000. Yeah. That's pretty much what I was thinking. Okay, one of yours. Tag Heuer.
Oh, now we're talking. So this is the first time that I've seen this particular watch. I thought, what the hell is that? And that is so-called V4 prototype. So it seems that Tag Heuer was doing something very unique. The guy who developed that is a guy who is very much into mathematics, and his goal was to minimize friction, and he came up with this kind of watch. If you look at the dial, you can see that he didn't use toothed wheels. He used small transmission belts to drive the components of the watch, and those belts are thinner than a human hair. So one of the main tasks of the development of this watch was to find the right belts. People said that it was impossible to make. What is even more interesting is those belts have tooth inside. It is not only a belt; it has a toothing inside. Not sure. I found a very good article here, and maybe I can show it a little bit better here on those pictures. Those tooth belts. You can see it on. No, it's not clickable. You could see it here. Those belts
can see it,
have a little toothing, and that is really cool.
So what's the material of those belts?
I think it's rubber. Oh, yeah.
Rubber.
So
that is
super
Very
unique. I've never heard of them. Have you heard of them before?
Nope.
Okay. So he was also the first prototype, I think, was in 2001. And that is the guy, Guy Semon. And he's not a watchmaker. He's a mathematician and a physician and engineer. And he thought that out. What is even more interesting is the back of the watch, because it has an automatic winding system which consists of a metal ingot that moves up and down when you move the watch.
Okay.
So this thing
Yeah.
moves up and down, and it has a tooth part here. You can see the tooth part here. So it has a little toothing, and that drives some gears then. And he was also experimenting with ceramic ball bearings back then to increase the efficiency.
Yeah, you can.
It also
see
has
it over
has
here. Yeah.
4 main barrels, so that are connected then with those driving belts again.
Yeah, you can see the toothing over here. Yeah.
And you can see that moving ingot. Tag Heuer says 007 of 150 that moves up and down. So the first watch was $80,000 back in 2001, and I think that they sold 150 of them. And what then was even crazier? Here you can see the. Oh, one second.
Yeah, let me
I have
bring
a
it
better
up.
one. Yeah, here you can see the transmission for the hands, for example, in a drawing. So you can see those tooth belts, how they work. Also here on that little picture. So, and then a couple of years later, he went even crazier, and he made a tourbillon that is driven by those belts. Here, you can see the tourbillon here.
Dude, that is awesome. That is really nice.
It's totally insane. It's totally insane. Here you can see the construction of the tourbillon with those belts, and I wonder why I haven't heard of it, because it is really spectacular, totally unique.
Yeah, that is
totally
awesome.
Not Tag Heuer. So I wouldn't have expected Tag Heuer to do that. Maybe Uhrwerk or Max Büsse and Friends or Vianney Halter or somebody, but not Tag Heuer.
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna ask. So Tag Heuer just came out with a tourbillon.
Yeah.
You know which one? The Mario Kart tourbillon?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god. Okay, so we have to keep this for another stream.
Okay.
So
you want me to explode?
Keep this. Yeah. Okay. Keep
Okay.
this watch in mind.
Okay.
This awesome, beautiful watch.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, it's awesome. And
to me, it's the highlight of the auction. I find that super cool. It's ugly as hell. Don't get me wrong. I would never wear this watch, but from a technical point of view, this is just spectacular.
Yeah. And so Tag Heuer just came out with a new tourbillon, and I think you're gonna explode.
Okay.
really hard.
Yeah, we have a cliffhanger now for the next show.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay,
next
awesome
one.
Watch. Patek Philippe 3974 with a minute repeater, a perpetual calendar. Yeah, I think I just picked that watch because I think it's really good looking. What size is it? It's 36, guys.
36, your size.
Guys, I mean, how many complications can you put in a 36 millimeter case? This is fucking crazy. First of all, that movement is fucking awesome. It has a kind of a micro rotor. So minute repeater, perpetual calendar, all of that in a
automatic.
Automatic in such a small case. And what I think is the little detail that makes everything better, you see this signature. This is the signature of Jean-Pierre Hagemann, which was working before at Patek Philippe and was making the case of all the very, very, very best and ultra complicated Patek Philippe's. And he is today known as one of the best case makers in the industry. And he is working right now with Acrivia.
Yes.
So yes, this I think is really like Patek Philippe in its in its full glory. I love everything. I love the case. I love the dial. I love the complication. I love the movement. I love the size. I love everything. Everything is perfect.
No. The leather strap is
Yeah, the
but
leather.
ugly. Philips really must work on their
leather
straps.
strap is.
Sorry.
There is no Patek embossed on the leather strap. It's not
Yeah.
Patek.
No,
But yes.
they're not having crocodile straps anymore because it gives you a headache on when they export it to a certain country.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right.
So that's
But
the
yes,
reason why
I
they
think
put those
this is
shitty
awesome.
straps
You can
on.
see here once again Jean-Pierre Hageman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Next.
That's all I wanted to say. Yeah. Beautiful.
We're 1.5 hours.
Yeah, the next one are some extra pick of mine. So I think we already talked about those. So this was the Cartier Tortue monopusher from those three watchmakers. It was
Vianney
FP
Halter.
Jaune,
FP
Vianney
Jaune.
Halter, and Flageolet, I think.
Yeah. Flageolet, who is the founder of the Betoon.
Yeah, exactly. Who made this movement especially for Cartier, and I think this looks amazing. The dial, I love the dial. The dial looks so good with that beautiful pattern inside. I love those little indices, those little beads indices. I love the hands. I love the dial. I love everything. This is beautiful. I love it.
You realize that there is only one flaw on this watch.
What is it?
It's in white gold and not in platinum.
Right. I should know. Yes, but oh my god. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah.
Good pick.
I think this would go for more than 40,000. Next one. Once again, we already talked about.
We're almost done. We will open
just a few more watches. Don't worry, guys. So a Tourbillon Souverain. So beautiful watch from an early model, because it has one of those so-called brass movements instead of the gold movements from today. But I just want to highlight how this watch has such minute finishing on the movement part, because in the early days, FP Jaune wasn't that bothered with movement finishing, and that is very interesting in my opinion. See, very rough cutting of the edges, no anglage. Yet these are the most sought after watches. So yeah, that's all I wanted to highlight. Other than that, yeah, beautiful the case. I love the case of those FP Jaune. Next one, well, I think, oh my god. Okay, this, I don't know, I cannot resist this one. One of the very best watches, in my opinion, in the world. Philippe Dufour Simplicity, 37 millimeters, time only. I think it is in platinum. Oh, white gold.
No, white gold.
Okay. So John hates it.
No. I love it, and there is one reason. Philippe Dufour offered them in yellow gold, in rose gold, and in platinum. And most of the people who went for white metal went for platinum.
Okay.
And this one is in white gold with that anthracite dial, and that is super rare. That is what makes it even rarer than the other
the dial
watches.
makes it super rare. But guys,
so
look
if
at
it would be in platinum, it wouldn't be that rare.
Look at the movement, guys. Yeah. This is the very tip top of the watch game right here. Look how it's shiny.
Yeah, he could have used a chaton here and there.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, I can give you that.
But other than that, no. I love Philippe Dufour, and the
And
finishing of
yes, but yes,
this
this
watch is
dial
just
is
crazy.
awesome, amazing. This dial, I think it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yep, and
Very
that's
unusual for Philippe Dufour.
yes. Estimate 350 to 700,000. I think it's gonna go at least 1 million or maybe even 2. Quite easily. Oh, look at the close up.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ooh.
Look at the two
Ooh.
horns.
Ooh. Look, everything, even down there, everything is beautifully polished. Even you can see it here. What's it called? The anchor is beveled and everything. Amazing.
Yeah, I think in the first show we were talking about Philippe Dufour having the watchmakers from the Seiko Micro Artist Studio, and he showed them his polishing woods. And the watchmakers from the Micro Artist Studios couldn't get this kind of wood, and Philippe Dufour was sending that wood over to Japan
Yes. And
until
now
they found
apparently they
them.
are growing their
Yes,
own little reserve of wood.
exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I
that's-
have a last one.
Okay.
It will take 10 seconds. I
Mhm.
found the manliest watch on the auction. Can you think which one it is? The manliest.
I have no idea.
It is this
Ooh.
one because look, there is this big arrow which is very representative, and you even have a little
It's a
spermy
sperm.
cell. So yes.
That's the ode to manhood. That is the
Yes,
name of the watch.
it's the manliest watch.
But it wouldn't be that funny if that hand would point to a different direction. So
Exactly.
it's well said.
Okay, so I think with this being said, we are done for today.
Yes, I have
I
posted
hope
the link.
yeah. So there is the link if some of you guys want to join the show. I hope you enjoyed. We did a bit more than usual, but it's just compensation for everything that we missed in the past few weeks. And I hope we see you next time.
We have a question here when the auction is 5th and 6th of November in Geneva.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting you.
The 5th and the 6th of Geneva,
The fifth.
of November.
Mhm.
They do it in two batches. First half the 5th and second half the 6th.
Do you think we are gonna have a show next week, Swiss?
Maybe, yes, maybe, because next week it is the holidays here. Thank God, because I was being killed by work.
No, I'm just asking because I can see OC here in the background, and if you fail, OC stands by. Hello, OC. Good evening.
Swiss is irreplaceable.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening.
So do you want do you have a few comments, or maybe is there some watches that you want us to quickly have a look?
I dropped a couple in the chat.
Oh yeah, wait, let me bring them up.
They're kind of hype pieces.
We can look at them.
Lot 163 or 167.
Okay, let's have a look. 163.
Just ordinary Daytonas, not really something.
I know. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm playing here the arrogant part on this show. It's all good.
I'm supposed to be the elitist here.
But
Yes, I know.
So this would be a 6239 Panda with a very striking surface discoloring, right?
Yes,
correct. Yes,
I think this is what makes it special, right? Is that
no? The bezel makes it special because it doesn't have the bakelite bezel, so it's before. And if I remember correctly, also that usually is pre-Daytona. Is that correct?
No, it says Daytona on top. I mean,
that's what makes it special, or OC?
I'm not sure. We need a
see?
a Daytona specialist.
Yes.
There's so many stupid versions of this thing. It's hard to keep track. I know that there's that cliche that vintage is a minefield, but especially with these Daytonas, it's impossible to know which ones are really rare, which ones are collectible. But I happen to like this one with the pushers, without the screw down pushers, the silvery dial, of course the contrast of the black sub dials. It's a nice looking piece.
I agree. I love it. And this watch was seen in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is my favorite James Bond movie. So nothing against this watch.
Very nice.
And I could have purchased this particular watch that has been used in the movie, but I was too stingy to do it. No.
So
Another...
I can
snoozy lose.
I can just see one little detail. Does this have a screw down crown? Yes, huh?
Yeah.
I think this means that it's a screw down crown, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think because it is pointing exactly upwards, you think it is a lucky crown? You know, meaning that when it is fully closed, it points exactly upwards?
I have no idea.
That would be a nice little detail. Yeah, because I am one of those idiots that take this into consideration. And,
so OC also mentioned 167. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have
167
it right
is 167 is very different, obviously, because there's this chocolate dial.
You know what I'm gonna say. I think it's a poopy brown dial.
Poopy brown.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
OC,
so was
OC,
it
one
black
question. Do you really think that a black dial can age that way naturally?
I don't know for sure. I mean, I wouldn't put it past these guys to put it under some kind of treatment or ultraviolet light or whatever to artificially age it, to create something special. You never know.
I don't know. I think it looks believable, but yeah, I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to, you know, the dials and aging of the dials. And
I wouldn't buy it. It's just unusual to see that shade of dial on a
yeah.
on a 35
Other
or
than
40-year-old
that, the watch is very well preserved, I have to say.
A little too preserved.
Do you think it's a recut?
It looks awfully pristine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, actually.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I'm very sorry I scared Crappy Luxury off the panel. Please, if you're interested in joining Crappy, please do. Please don't let my my presence scare you off.
I think you had a good interview with him, so I don't know.
He's terrific. He's very intelligent. I enjoyed my conversation with Crappy Luxury.
I think it's just that he feels that he belongs to a different camp than yours. But this is a camp-free stream here and channel.
Yes,
so we welcome everybody who behaves.
About watches.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's nobody watching, so it doesn't really matter. It's just,
that's true. That is true.
I don't even know if Dodger's still watching. Dodger, you still there?
I think Dodger fell asleep.
Well,
he won't.
that was like one of three people in the audience. I did want to I know this is a story that you know, John and Swis, but I guess I'll tell it for the three people who are listening. But there's the story of, because you were covering the APs, you know, the new gem set, Royal Oaks. There's the story of Pierre Salinitro. You probably have heard. You probably know who he is. But I'll tell it maybe in Oshin style, like maybe a 3-minute story. Well, actually, Oshin's version would probably be like 30 minutes. But also, I'll do an abbreviated version. So Pierre grew up in Geneva. He was a banker, and his friend took him to meet his father one time. His father worked in a shop where they were doing jewelry repair and gem setting, and Pierre was so enamored when he visited his friend's dad's shop that pretty soon, he would go there early in the morning and spend several hours watching the gem setters doing work on the jewelry. And then after his day at the bank, he'd come and spend 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day just watching them do their works. He just was so enamored by this that he quit his banking job and started his own company, doing servicing watches and servicing jewelry and doing gem setting in Geneva. And he was doing this for a couple of years, not really making all that much money, until he got a call one day from Piaget. And Piaget said, "Hey, I understand that you guys have a couple of gem setters there, right?" He goes, "Yeah, we don't have much work, but I got a couple of guys." And so Piaget said, "Well, we have a big order, and we don't have enough people. So can we farm out some of the work to you, and you can do the gem setting on these particular pieces?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Well, fast forward, 35 years or whatever, from that fateful day in the mid 80s when he got that call from Piaget. Now he has a 35,000 square foot facility with 230 gem setters
In Geneva.
a nondescript building sandwiched between 2 chocolate companies. You'll never find the building. And he has 10 people, 10 of his 230, who are extremely skilled in the art of invisible setting. And those were the 10 people who were assigned to do these watches. And over the decades, Pierre Salinitro's company is one of the most trusted strategic partners of Audemars Piguet. He's worked with Patek Philippe and Hublot and Zenith and other companies over the years as they've farmed out their gem setting, as those companies aren't as super vertically integrated as Rolex has become over the decades. And so everything you see here is done by Pierre Salinitro.
So basically one of the best.
Yeah, and didn't Patek Philippe just recently buy a 60% share of the company?
No, I don't recall seeing anything related to the ownership change or equity change in the company.
No,
that may be,
was
but I didn't read that.
Yeah, no, it was a couple of weeks ago. I think I've read it on Hodinkee or on Monochrome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, well, maybe one day I will introduce the viewers to the art of invisible setting, because setting those stones the way they are is not easy, because you have to create an invisible track. So you have to cut those diamonds.
So he's the one who makes these crazy watches. This is a AP, I think. A very, very high-end AP watch. Salinitro. Salanitro.
I can't remember that name.
Yeah, it's one of those Italian names that it's hard to remember unless you repeat it many, many times.
Yeah, that's how you do?
Yeah, just sometimes I'll forget and I'll be like, well, what was it? Was it like Salieri or Zanero and then I have to go look it up again. It annoys me. But yeah, he's the guy. And I mean, you talked about it, Jonathan, 861 color matched gems in over 100 different individual sizes had to be compiled for each piece. And you can like them or hate them from an aesthetic standpoint, but you have to admire the artwork and the perseverance and dedication that went into making them. I think I saw one article that said that it took each gem setter a month and a half to do one watch.
I'm surprised that they were so quick, because I've been watching goldsmiths doing those kind of pavé and invisible settings, and it's back and forth. You put the stones out because one is not perfectly matching. Then you try to cut the stone, which is another branch. Then you can't cut it too much, because then it's obvious that it looks different. So it is back and forth all the time, and I wouldn't have the patience to do this kind of job.
The interesting thing about the design of it is that if they introduced versions of this without the gem set bracelet and case, but just the pave dial, I think they would be just absolute smashes, because the dial, the Royal Oak dial, is known for the tapisserie design. You know, the kind of the squared tapisserie that is made with the machine there, that they turn by hand. And so when you have those square gems in the dial, the iconography is still there. The Royal Oak brand identity is there in that dial.
Yeah.
So I think if they just had the gem set pave dial and bezel, and gave you a regular white gold case, white gold bracelet, I think you could price those at 150 or 200,000, and they would sell all day long in every color.
I agree. Yes, but maybe that is the plan that AP has.
Yeah, there's always the question, like, why do these maisons do these things? Like, why do they do these crazy pieces? Why do they invest so much time in creating these designs? You know,
this is the question I had. What's the purpose behind such a release?
Yeah.
Like, what's the message they want to convey? Right?
I mean, at the end of the day, these are people who are they do. I mean, there's a couple of things at the core of what they do: the engineering behind the horology, and a commitment to push the envelope. And then from an artistry perspective, the gem setting. You know, they are a jewelry company, and so I mean, nobody buys a $500,000 watch or $1 million watch to tell the time. They're expressions of something very, very personal and very artistic. And then I guess the third aspect, and I'm not sure if this is the case or not, but I think if you just look at the entire collection, I don't want to read something political into it, but just it is a rainbow of colors. And so at this particular time, it might be a statement of inclusion or diversity or something like it. It speaks to the time that we're in right now, that they would do something kind of, I mean, not overtly political, but artistically inclusive.
I disagree with you there. I think there is no political message, but we can only speculate, and we can disagree about that. But the colors of a rainbow is something magical, and is connected to colored stones. So I think the message is more innocent than
It could be.
than you think.
It could be. I mean, Rainbow Daytona was designed long before the rainbow was associated with any social causes. So I understand.
Right.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm I'm not that of a deep thinker, so I see it a little bit more pragmatic, and I think it's just beautiful. So they do it. Okay, I think it was a very interesting show. I hope that the 15 people that are watching the show are not asleep. Dodger said that he's still with us, so hang tight.
I see Crappy Luxury wants to jump on, and he's waiting for me to jump off. So maybe I'll do that. Give him an opportunity to jump on, and then you can continue on for another hour with Crappy Luxury. How about that?
Well, Crappy had a tremendous show.
It's getting late over here. It is 11 p.m. now. I still have to eat because I couldn't eat before.
I can go on with Crappy, no problem. But I don't want to scare OC off, because we are not kicking people off when they don't.
No. I don't want to. I want to give Crappy a safe space for him to jump on and share his perspective on whatever he wants to discuss. So I'll leave you guys. Have a fantastic night, terrific weekend, and all that good stuff. And
awesome.
I'll be at the Iron Maiden concert tonight, and I'll think of you guys.
Enjoy the concert, and thank you very much for hopping on.
Thanks for passing by, and whenever you want.
You're always welcome.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So I did link once again the link if anyone wants to join. Yeah, that was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Something we don't really talk about,
And I forgot the name already of the company.
This guy, Salanitro.
Salanitro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, they have the most understated website ever. It's
And
nothing on
we
the website.
have the man, the legend, the Marmite lover, Crappy Luxury. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Guten Tag, Damen
Guten Tag.
and Herren.
Guten Abend.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Guten Tag. Would you say mein Herren and Damen and Herren?
Meine
Yeah.
Damen und Herren.
Damen und
Mhm.
Herren.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Crappy, is it the first time that you're watching our show?
Oh no,
live?
I've seen it several times before.
Okay.
In fact, I think I came on maybe half a year ago, and I talked to Swiss a lot about Switzerland type questions.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And we
And I asked
had
him
the
about-
cheese conversation. Yeah,
That's
I remember.
right. Yeah, and I asked him about Swiss Army watches. Are they really, and the knives, are they really issued standard issue to Swiss Army
Yep, they are.
soldiers?
Yep.
The watch and the knife?
No watch. No watch.
Just the knife.
but-
Yeah. So one
but
of
the knife.
one of the variations of the Swiss Army
Yep.
all-in-one kind of pocket knife is issued standard issue. Wow,
Yes.
that's really phenomenal. Nobody cares about Swiss Army on any of these channels but me. I like their products. So
So
okay, I
Swiss,
did have a couple of questions on
yeah.
the
Okay.
show so far
Of
today.
course. Yeah.
Swiss, you showed a watch. Let me see if I can find. It was you said the most masculine of all watches.
Oh yeah, the Louis Erard. Let me.
Yeah, you know,
wait.
I would have guessed that you're referring to this
Yeah,
particular watch.
this
Crappy.
one.
Let me. I got so many channels up here on my screen. I got to take some stuff here to StreamYard. Okay, great. Yeah. The only other watch that can compare to being called the most masculine of all watches is several years ago, many years ago, Archie Luxury, as a goof, showed a watch, and he called it the Archie Luxury Fertility Edition. And if anybody out there can remember that, this is 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it was hysterical. And somebody made it up for him, some friend of his or something, removed the crystal and put some stuff on the dial and then resealed it all up again. Man, it was funny.
I don't remember this show.
Oh yeah, I mean, some old timers out there, they might remember it from way back, and I might look for it just for fun. But anyway, yeah. Thank you, Turtle Knight. Very good. Okay, great. Okay,
You know,
and
mild
then
trolling is allowed here. No,
yeah,
but,
yeah, and then another watch that you showed, Swiss. It was the Philippe Dufour.
Yep.
Mhm.
It was an anthracite or dark dial. Can you
Yeah.
bring that? Can you
Yep.
show
This
that?
one.
And this watch is made by the true pontiff of watches. may I
That's
say.
correct. Yeah. Well, a watch that I've always liked, and of course, when I talked about it maybe 3 years ago, people said, "Oh, whatever you do, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't be an idiot. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's junk. It's garbage." You know. So I'd like to show a screen share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me bring something up here, and we can do them both on the screen together. That would be great. When I saw the Dufour watch, now I know there's no comparison, okay, but when I saw that, here it is. I immediately thought of this watch, which I always liked, and this is there it is. Yeah, this is a Mont Blanc, and yeah, it's retails at $2,615, and let me make it a little larger there.
And you can have
Ah,
it for
there we go.
50 off. Yeah.
There we go. Very nice. And this is on the Joma Shop,
Mhm.
you know, well-known New York City store. $2,615 and available on sale now $1,250. Okay. And I looked at some authorized dealer Mont Blanc websites, and that really is the price, $2,615.
Yes.
And you get a Solita 200 movement, okay,
Mhm,
which is
okay.
like the 2824, very similar, all right? and it's got some
Some stamping in the middle, yes.
it's not guilloche, it's something else. The design etching
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
It's a kind of sunray, yes.
Yeah. And
With the Mont Blanc star in the.
and it's an anthracite colored dial, and the numerals are very attractive. Okay, you got a date at 6 o'clock, and if you can look at that Dufour watch, can you bring that up for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, look at that. So did Mont Blanc copy Dufour, or did Dufour copy Mont Blanc, or did original ideas?
Dufour copied Breguet.
Yeah, it's a
numerals
very,
are called Breguet.
very common type of, very classical type of dial, I would say.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and Chopard has a very similar kind of thing as well, but for much more money than the.
You can also find Patek Philippe watches with this kind of numerals. AP had them, so you can find them all over the trade.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well, the Mont Blanc, I really like that watch. It comes with a silver white dial also, and I think it looks really nice. And what am I saying? Oh shit! There we go. Yeah, I mean it looks great, and very, very thin, or like it would be very nice on my wrist. And the lugs are really nicely, elegantly curved down, so it doesn't extend over the edge of the wrist. And
how many millimeters is that? The diameter?
I'll look it up in a second. I forgot. And the back is it looks nice, but it's.
May I correct you, Crappy? This is the 2892. That is not 2824.
Which is this? Okay, my mistake. All right. And back looks very nice. I mean, nothing special, but they put some attention on. At least they put on the.
For $1,000, I think it's okay.
Yeah. On the balance wheel, at least they put something.
Yeah.
Mont Blanc Meisterstück.
That is the rotor.
The rotor. My mistake. Right. And whereas many brands like Hamilton or whatever, they don't put anything on the rotor, and it looks very nice. And of course, it's not a Rolex. I know it's not a Rolex, but it looks great. And it's a 39 mil watch, case thickness 9.34.
39, it's perfect.
39.
It's perfect.
Band is 19 mil. I could wear this as every day, or on the rare occasion I have to wear a suit. It looks terrific. I really like it. And everybody says, don't do it. Get a Rolex. And look at that price, $1,250. It's I think $2,600 is overpriced. But I think $1,200 to $1,700 is very good price.
But Crappy, to be honest, that Fortis Flightmaster that you always advertise, I like that one better than this Mont Blanc.
Well, they're kind of different. One is really bolder and stronger, more readable as a pilot's watch. I like them both. So if I were in the money enough to have a collection, I would buy this. I would buy the Fortis and other stuff, but I wouldn't start off like, you got to get the Man on the Moon, and you got to get the Rolex Submariner, and you got to get,
Don't listen to that bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah, you got to get a Reverso. Whatever you do, you got a Reverso, a Man on the Moon, and a date just. And once you have that, once you have your foundation, then if you want to buy something a little different or mid-tier crap, go ahead, because you got your foundation set up. Is the Archie Luxury?
As Marco said, it was the Archie Luxury starter pack. You start with that, and then you can
you can add on to it as you like, right? So the Archie Luxury starter pack. Yeah, you get the Man on the Moon, the
Reverso.
You got to get the Helsolite glass. You have to mispronounce it. With the Helsolite glass manual wind, you have to get the Reverso, any reverso, but if you can get the grand date, okay, and you need to get a Rolex, any steel stunner will do. You can get an OP, a Submariner, a Datejust. Go with the Datejust, okay. And if you can find the blue dial, now you got your starter pack.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a fan of those collection reviews and
Yeah.
how then people say, "Oh, this is missing, so you need a watch with a
Oh, that
blue
is so
dial or with a white
ridiculous.
dial."
It's absolutely ridiculous. you
Yeah,
know.
and if you have a look at my collection, I'm just buying when somebody hits my emotions,
Right.
and I don't care if it fits into my collection or not. I just get it because I love it, and that's it. And someone, I think it wasn't you. One thing that is interesting in Archie's collection review is no matter what he sees in the collections of the people who pay him, his advice is get a Rolex and get a Reverso. So no matter where the starting point is, the end or the advice is always the same.
Exactly.
So,
Now,
yeah.
this show part, I've been the only person, just about, that's ever talked about show part, and I started talking about show part 5 years ago or so on my channel. 4 years when I started, and that would be the first choice luxury brand I would go for. It's just, there's any billionaire mental case schmuck can buy a Patek, okay, and any douche with a credit card can buy a Rolex, okay. And that's a fact, all right. I could buy a Rolex, and I certainly
Oh yeah.
qualify
Totally.
by
Yeah.
what I just said, okay, if I want to put it on my credit card, and but no, the only people who know about Chopard LUC watches are really into elegance.
Do you know what LUC means?
Oh, that's their premium line. It's
No,
like,
it's the
based
founder,
on the founder.
Louis Ulysse Chopard.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
right.
LUC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Louis Ulysse Chopard, right? And those are absolute high horology, comparable to any of these other, alleged high horology.
It is Poisson de
horlogerie
Genève, which
brands.
is extremely, picky when it comes to
Yeah.
awarding the Poisson de Genève.
Swiss, just one
yes.
question, because we have here a question from a rodent mutation. The dial of my Chopard 1860 reminds of Philippe Dufour, made by Metalem. Isn't Dufour also made by
Dufour
Metalem?
is made by Metalem, yeah.
Yeah,
This watch is
so I
beautiful.
got
The
that
one
right.
on the screen.
I think
took
this is why. Yeah.
When I was in Las Vegas, it was either the Wynn Hotel or the one right next to it. That's connected to the Wynn. I forgot the name just right now. There's a Chopard boutique. I went in there. They had this watch. I tried it on. Absolutely perfect. And I would buy this watch in a heartbeat for a gold, luxury watch over a Patek.
Actually,
the
the movement is nicer finished than on any Patek in that price range, and the construction of the movement is made by Parmigiani, by Michel Parmigiani. He was commissioned to construct this particular movement.
When you go to the Cannes Film Festival, all the celebrities there and the jet sets, they all are going to parties sponsored by Chopard, and they're all wearing Chopard jewelry and watches. Yeah, I know they're maybe spokespeople, ambassadors, but many of them buy that brand.
Well, Chopard throws jewelry on them and provides the security.
Absolutely.
That's why you see them.
Right.
That
well,
is
plus
beautiful.
they also have brand ambassadors and all that stuff. But yeah, a lot of people in that circle, that jet set elite, Monaco, Cannes Film Festival, etc. They do wear Chopard.
That is beautiful. That is one of my
This is
favorites.
the Chopard I want. It's called the Quattro because it has 4 mainspring. It's huge. It's gigantic in thickness, not in diameter, but in thickness. Super thick. It has a jumping hour, and this weird only the minute hands with a jumping hour. But I think it looks stunning. It's beautiful.
How do you tell the time with only one hand?
Yeah, look, it's 10:10. 10 past 10.
So it's not the date. It's
not
the
the
hour.
date. It's the
jumping
hour.
hour.
Oh, it's the hour, not a date. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 10:10.
and yeah, and
So you
but
sacrifice the
it's
date
also
window for the
super
one hand.
expensive. Yeah, but I don't like the date window, so that's good.
But you're good with an hour window. That is so
Yes.
hypocrisy.
No,
So
no, because it is at 6 o'clock. If it was, if this were
at
at
3, you would
4:30,
hate it.
please, oh please, at 4:30, oh, I would kill somebody.
Now, isn't so you sacrificing the date window for the hour window? Okay,
Mhm.
Yes.
but what I mean is you're sacrificing the hour hand for the date window. I meant, okay. Don't you find a watch looks better with an hour and minute hand as opposed to one hand, or is
Uh,
that
to be honest, I'm okay with only one hand.
yeah, right? What's that other
Uh,
brand that does all these
Meister
one-handed?
Singer, let me bring it
Meister's,
up.
yeah, right, yeah. I guess if you like your one hand, you can keep your one-handed watch. Yeah, sure. Well, oh, and also when Mr. OC said he didn't know how to spell Solieri, that immediately kicked off in my head his reference to all the Archie viewers as low IQ viewers. So,
Yeah, I've seen your comment.
yeah, but he's the one who can't spell Solieri, so or even remember the name. That was it. Remember the name. So, but anyway, enough of that.
So this one is truly one hand. This is not the hour, this is the date. So here you can tell that it's 2:27, 2:28,
I see.
because yeah, here is the 30 minutes marker, 15, 30,
Uh-huh.
45
Didn't
hours.
H. Moser do a watch without a hand?
I'm not
I think they were
sure.
trolling some people with a watch without hands.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe I can find it. I don't know.
Hmm.
So yes, but good and very extravagant taste, Crappy, for choosing Chopard, which is
Oh
German
yeah,
owned, by the
yeah.
way.
I could look up. I would need a minute if I could
Yeah.
find my photos of me wearing the Chopard watches. I don't know if I can find them fast enough for the stream.
Oh,
So
maybe you make a show. You know, I'm so
Well, yeah.
amazed about your show about Vegemite.
Wasn't
I
that
wouldn't have
amazing?
him. It was great.
2 hour show about Vegemite. I
Mhm.
mean Archie and Vegemite. And yeah,
Yeah,
it
that is
was.
a tourbillon without hands.
Yeah.
So that
Can you
is H.
imagine
Moser.
setting the watch?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that is another level. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good good point by Watcher63. Show your phone tells the time. Why do you need your watch to tell the time? That is a very good point, and you have to ask yourself if you're spending more than $20 for a watch, if you really need it in those days, and why are you needing it? Yes.
What does that mean? Why would you need a watch to tell the time? What does that mean?
Well, yeah, his point is every phone tells the time. So why do you need a watch to tell the time?
Well, then what do you want to watch for at all?
Yeah, and for many of us, it is a love for horology. Just those micro machines that do all those crazy things, that have all those crazy features, and that's why we love the watch, and certainly not because it shows the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, can I show up another screen share right here?
Oh,
Sure.
please, yeah.
Yeah.
I have some Chopard favorites I've already saved a long time ago, and we could just run through these real quickly. These are
course.
Chopards that I would buy in a second, or if anybody out there wants to spend $5,000 gift on me, I'm ready, baby. Send it. Okay.
I can understand, but in my opinion, that dial is a little bit too blunt. Just imagine if it had the structure of the previous one. In my opinion, it would
Well,
would
yeah,
look
and yeah,
much
this
nicer.
is the same kind of series. Then the one that was shown before, the gold one, has a little bit more on the dial, right? But when I tried this one on, the stainless steel indices and hands, they're so brightly polished. Not that they're tacky, but they're just beautifully brightly polished, and it looks phenomenal. But I hear what you're saying on that. Yeah. So this is in the LUC chronometer. Okay. And oh, that's a Vulcan. That's not it. Oh, here's the show part. This is a Cannes Film Festival limited edition from a few years ago. The red one. And wow, look at that.
Inspired by the red carpet.
I'm not, exactly. I'm not a red watch kind of guy, but they also put it in different colors too. It's just beautiful. And I like Breguet hands. They're just different and they look just beautiful to me. Yeah. So that's a great looking watch. Here's another Chopard, similar. Genève, Suisse, depuis 1860.
Yeah.
Depuis 1860. Yeah.
Since 1860.
Yes.
No crap, he's fluent in French, Swiss.
I'm fluent in high school French.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a beauty. Look at this.
I like the salmon dial better than that one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it says automatic. Why do they have to say automatic on a watch dial? Lots of brands do that.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. It's like they could say quartz. I don't know, whatever.
Well, many watches said quartz back
That's
then
true.
when quartz was the last development. I remember the slogan of Seiko when they were doing only quartz watches. In Germany, it said, "One day all watches will be made like that." That was their slogan in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Swiss, let's say you're going to a conference of an international conference in Lucerne of all these geniuses around the world, and it was all very formal, black tie. Would you consider wearing this watch if you had it to that event?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course.
If you were going on a date with Nicole.
Yeah, of course.
Kidman.
That is a very beautiful watch.
Absolutely.
Let me show you my favorite. So same range, just my favorite. And I think, John, you remember this one.
Oh, yes.
So this one, and you can see it has this this hexagonal pattern over here.
Oh, yeah.
And because this is a special limited edition made in platinum. And behind it,
well, that's killer.
there is open case back. And there
is
is
the same
this,
pattern.
Yeah, there is this
now
beautiful
that's an
pattern.
older watch.
No,
no, it's quite recent.
Right. Wow. What's the purpose of the closed case back like that? I mean, the flip flop.
No
open
particular
case
reason. Just it's cool. That's it.
Cool. Right
in early days, that goes back to pocket watches, and it gave extra protection to the movement.
Yeah. Can you show the front of that again?
Yes. Here.
Wow, that's a killer. That's really great.
My very favorite thing is the mechanism to open the case back. So usually there would be a little thingy to pull on top or something. Actually, these guys were pretty clever because they hid it inside the crown. So what you would do, you would pull out the crown, free the hand so you can set the watch and do whatever you want. And the moment you push it back in, it opens up the case back.
Yeah. Now, for about the same price, I'm going to guess around the same price, you could get the Platinum Daytona. Okay. And every robot or lemming on the watch channels would say Daytona has phenomenal resale value. It's the better buy of the two. This one's going to tank the second you buy it. But I would buy this one.
Crappy, be warned. There are some forbidden words here on the show, and one is resale value. So be careful not to get booted.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, who cares about the resale value? If you can afford this kind of watch,
the thing is, the guys who buy a Daytona, they get to wear a Daytona, and it's much less of a privilege than getting to wear one of those watches.
Right.
In my opinion.
Well, yeah. So
Daytona sucks, to be honest. If I really have
Daytona,
to
you can't even read the time. On this watch, you can tell the time. It's very readable, and it's gorgeous as well.
And some craftsmen really put some hours
Oh yeah, you can
into
see this
making
is a
those
really
jewelries.
took
Look at
time to
those.
build. Yeah.
Look at those movements. Yeah.
I'm going to put that on my list of things to buy for
So,
next year.
so Boxer asks
Yeah.
what the price of the Chopin with a Hunter case back is. If I remember
I
correctly, it was below 40 something.
No, yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. It's I think it's 25 or maybe 30.
Really?
I think it's
With a
closer
Hunter
to
case
20.
back?
Yeah.
That sounds
And
cheap.
it's
Wait.
platinum?
So there
No,
is
that's white gold. That's not platinum.
That was white gold, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal. Yeah.
Wait, I had the link before. Well, maybe
Yeah, on the back it said it indicated gold. Yeah. So.
let me find it. My browser doesn't want to redirect me. He says
Now,
a blog to watch is a harmful website.
Yeah, you see that Fortis watch in my avatar? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that can be purchased around 1,500 brand new, give or take a couple hundred. I think less than that, and it's terrific. Looks great. It's absolutely readable, legible.
Yeah.
You get a day and a date. You get a Swiss 2824 or Solita, and phenomenal crystal that they put on there. It's so transparent. You don't even think there's any glass on it. It looks so amazing. And it's going to last a long time. It looks great. And you don't buy a Fortis. Fortis is mid-tier garbage. So people are crazy out there.
You know, Crappy.
I just found it though. It was priced at $30
Right.
30K.
So Crappy. One of the reasons why I started appearing on YouTube was that I really hated that garbage talk.
Right.
That
Garbage.
was one of the main reasons, because yes, there are watches that are more in fashion, and there are watches that are less in fashion. But calling a Fortis garbage is just
that applies to all mid-tier. Anything lower priced than the Man on the Moon is mid-tier garbage.
Well, but now define mid-tier. I would say that
under
the word
the 3,500, you're going to be looking at mid-tier garbage.
Yes, but those are industrially produced watches, the same like Rolex. So
yes, isn't that amazing? Yeah. Well, I love mid-tier garbage. I would like to have a Laco, and the Fortis and a Longines, and those are very interesting watch brands. Lots of good stuff to buy.
Turtle Knight, I know that you put that out tongue in the cheek, but it's well known that the movements on those old Daytonas were good and solid, but really nothing really special that justify the high prices. The high prices for Daytonas is just because they're rare and they're beautiful. I'll give it to them. They're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Here's a meme I happened to see on somebody made up on, for Vulcan. It was very funny.
Vulcan
and it's not a real, this is a Photoshop, but it's really nice because Vulcan is the president's watch in the past. Okay. I don't know if they gave one to Trump, but here it's a great.
I think every
photo.
president is getting one.
Well, I don't know if they still do that today nowadays.
I think so, yeah.
But I cannot imagine Obama wearing a Vulcan. That's just, I picture him with a shitter, But it's a great looking meme. Whoever made it up, it's really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
As a self-proclaimed shitlord in the past, what do you think of this one?
Hold on, let me take this down. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Crappy. What do you think?
God, what the hell is that? What is this picture?
Those were the AP gem set watches.
The AP, the gem set APs.
Jet Set AP?
The new APs, the Rolex, those ones?
No, I don't know. That's the first time I've seen that. And
you haven't followed the show. We were discussing that
okay,
at the
well,
beginning
I
of the
missed
show.
that one.
So Audemars Piguet just came out with these crazy rainbow gem set Rolex. Someone made this.
And why would anybody buy this? I know, because it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
those aren't my kinds of watches. It's very hard to read the dial. I want a watch that tells what time it is. Some people just want the jewelry aspect, or the FU aspect of the expensive watch. I want to
these
know what
are
time it is.
definitely FU watches.
Right. Now, what are those gems? Are those like precious gems, like
Yeah.
rubies, emeralds,
Pink,
or whatever?
sapphires, rubies,
Sapphire, yeah.
aquamarine, all kind of stones.
Yeah,
think
not
that-
for me, thank you. Though
Yeah,
if
they're
somebody
only-
wants to send one to me, thank you, I will take it. Then the next
Yeah,
day I will sell it.
I
of
still
course.
hope that Bondage and Discipline is keeping his promise and buys you the Fortis.
Oh no, I can't believe he would do that. I don't want that because he wouldn't know which watch I would want anyway. So why would anybody want a watch?
But he knows
where, you don't really want. You get the one you don't want.
he knows you want a Fortis, so I think
Well,
he's watching your
yeah,
phone.
but I mean, there's a lot of watches. He would choose the wrong one maybe, and I wouldn't want. Then I'd have to be, oh, how can I tell him I don't really want this watch? And it goes on and on and on. He doesn't even know me. I can't even believe he would say that. But I'll tell you, I'd rather have a Fortis than this piece of shit that you're showing. So,
I disagree
or ugly
with you.
thing.
Yeah, but it is very difficult to make them. So that is why.
I can imagine, but I would never wear this watch. Even going to the supermarket, I wouldn't wear it.
That wouldn't be fitting. Yes, Captain, I'm happy
Road
to hear.
Mutation, good channel name, very nice. Yeah, you're right. He wears a Rolex Cellini, right? Or is it Cellini?
Cellini, I think.
Cellini, yes,
It's called,
right.
yes. Mhm.
Correct.
Wait, I just
Yes.
saw Turtle Knight is saying sell the VC, Swiss. Guys, I'm never selling the VC. Are you crazy?
No, I think we were talking about that Chopin with the honeycomb.
Oh, okay.
Yoshi.
Oh no, I very much prefer my VC over this.
Mm-hmm.
So Swiss, now the cold season has started. When are you having your first fondue?
Oh, is fondue a wintertime, autumn, wintertime
Yes.
dish? Really? I see. I didn't know that.
We
Right.
don't have that in the warm months.
Mhm.
So you had one already, or
No. I don't know. Maybe it's more of when you invite many people.
Mm.
Having fondue alone is very you just feel lonely.
I agree. But is it also a little bit related to the location? Because usually I was having fondue when I was skiing, so when I was in the
It's
mountains.
definitely when you are in the mountains.
Yes.
But
So- so
I have everything here to make fondue. So
Okay.
if I want to, I could. The thing is, afterwards you have to scrape all the burnt cheese. It's
Yeah.
a bit annoying.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
That's
you know,
not
it
good.
makes this layer of burnt cheese. Actually, you
Mm.
can scrape it off and eat it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
It
it
tastes
tastes amazing. But
so good.
the problem is your apartment smells like cheese for a week.
Oh yeah, that's just
Mm.
true. But to be honest, if I do a simple steak, then my entire apartment
Yeah,
smells like steak.
It's
for
the
the next
same, yes.
Mm-hmm. Swiss, you didn't fly to America to meet Archie Luxury. How come?
Oh, because I don't have the time.
Ah,
Otherwise, you would have.
No.
there you go.
I don't have the time. I don't have, to be honest, the incentive,
interest.
motivation. Yeah, the interest.
Right.
And it's fucking expensive to fly to America.
Absolutely.
At the moment, particularly, yes. Mhm. For us Europeans, it's
Yeah, I had to fly to Bristol. It cost me how was it? It was $300. The plane ticket. I was already thinking it was way too much.
Round trip or one way?
Round trip. Thank
Well, that
God.
sounds fine to me.
Yeah, but
one-
before it was like $70. And
Oh
there
my
you
God,
go.
that's really cheap.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem for us Europeans is that there are not many direct flights to Las Vegas. So normally you have to fly to New York and then change the plane, or fly to Los Angeles or San Francisco and change the plane, which makes it more expensive, and the length of the flight is much longer.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas is pretty difficult for us to reach.
So Rodent Mutation says, I love garlic in my fondue. Yes, I don't put too much of it. What is important is to select the right wine. So in the
Schnapps.
fondue, yeah, but first of all, you should use the correct wine, because wine is an important part of the ingredient that really controls the consistency of the cheese. So if you put first of all the incorrect wine, or if you put too few or too many, you were just gonna fuck up your recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You should, as said Jonathan, put just a little bit of schnapps inside to really give it that taste. And also you can, a tip for you guys, if you fuck up the recipe, as I just said, you can use what's it called, soda powder to
Baking powder.
Baking
yeah,
soda.
baking powder to bring back the consistency to normal.
Baking powder. Baking
baking.
soda. Baking soda.
Baking soda, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, I'd like to show this watch, since there's a real German here on the channel,
Yes,
and someone who lives next to Germany.
nice brand.
Let me make this a little larger here, if I can find the original. There we go. Okay. This is the German website, zin.de. Okay. And this is a series they call the Frankfurt Financial District watches. It says these watches are distinguished by their connection with, how do you pronounce this? Frankfurt
am Main.
am Main. Frankfurt
We have two.
am Main.
We have two Frankfurt. We have one in the east, which is an der Oder. That is another river, or Frankfurt am Main,
Right.
which is the Main River.
Okay. Well, I couldn't make it larger. Let me get back here.
Yeah, it's fine like that.
There
We
it
can
is.
see
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So I think this is a really nice looking watch, but why do they have a series relating to Frankfurt am Main? What would be the attraction, or what's important about that? Because it's internationally renowned banking and stock center.
I
Financial
can't
center?
tell you at the moment. I have to research this particular watch. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because well, I didn't know that there's two Frankfurts, so that's interesting. See, I learned another thing. All right.
So Frankfurt am Main is the financial district where all the big banks are located and so on. But I don't know the connection. I can't see a visible. So I know that Zinn is located in Frankfurt. So that may be the connection. But I have to check.
For example, Wall Street in New York is America's financial center.
Yes.
Would that be the similar thing with Frankfurt for
Frankfurt,
Germany?
Yes.
See, I didn't know that. Wow. I bet you.
But I don't see.
Know that.
I don't see anything particular at the moment that screams Frankfurt on this particular watch. So
yeah, right, yeah.
Maybe there is a big Frankfurt flag in the back.
Yeah, or maybe an engraving on the case back. I don't know.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, let's see if they have the case back here. No, they don't. That's peculiar.
No. Go to one particular watch and then click on it. Maybe
I see what you mean. Okay.
We can see the real side.
Let's find. See, now look at this one. I know a watch enthusiast might like this, but a watch that has the crown and two pushers on the right and then one on the left, it just looks to me, it looks so stupid to have pushers on the left. You know, I would never want a watch like that. But, you know, what can I tell you?
Yeah, but this is a rattrapant, so it needs an additional.
I understand. Yeah, and
oh no, it's not a rattrapant. There is a second time zone. That is another crown.
Has three time zones. Yeah. There's displays 3 time zones.
Okay.
Yeah, And
I think that is the purpose for the bankers, that to control several
so they could have
times.
like Frankfurt, New York,
Yeah, and Hong
like
Kong,
what,
or
maybe
Tokyo.
Tokyo or London,
Mhm.
or
London is easy because London is only 1 hour away from Frankfurt, so
so you wouldn't
that is
need
not
that.
difficult.
Yeah, okay. Gee, they don't show the back of the watch. Well, they can go stick it. If they don't want to show the back of the watch, I ain't going to buy it.
Yeah, but probably the possibility to show 2 or 3 different time zones connects it then to Frankfurt, which is also the place where Sin is located.
We'll look at one more, see if they show the back.
Oh, maybe we can Bobby Google the back of that watch.
Oh, wait a minute. There's more information.
Oh, we have Gentleman Masterclass, and he finally caught a live show. Welcome to the show. We can also post the link again.
They don't show the backs of the watches. Unbelievable. Well, anyway, okay. I was just curious why it was called the Frankfurt Financial District Watch. So
yeah,
very good. Click that off. Oh, hello, Gentleman Masterclass. He's in Japan. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And I just ordered a Rolex watch part for him, so he can have the easy link function on his.
That's the back of your watch.
Oh, that's the back of the Zen.
And that is a 7750.
Yeah. But look, hey, look, it has Frankfurt in the back.
Oh, okay.
What does that say on the top? Finanzplatzuhr.
Finanzplatzuhr. That is the watch for the financial place.
Can you pronounce that again?
Finanzplatzuhr. So that is that is the beauty of German of the German language, that we combine different words into another word.
Right.
So Finanzplatzuhr consists of 3 separate words that is mingled together. It's Finanz,
right,
Platz, and Uhr. So finance, place, watch. So
right. And next to that is wasserdicht.
Yes. Wasserdicht.
Water
dicht.
resistant.
Yeah.
And then Zin. Well, and they got a little engraving artwork there on the rotor.
Yeah. I'm trying to identify what it is. That is the
maybe
TV
it's the
tower.
skyline of Frankfurt.
Yeah, TV tower. I think it's a bank building. Yeah.
Frankfurt IM. In mine.
Mine.
Am mine. Oh, it's a
in mine would be bad. Then it would be flooded.
Maybe in 100 years with raising
you
sea
never
levels.
know.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about your channel is the watches that you show, even my stupid choices that we're talking about. They never talk about these ever on the Archie channel.
Oh yeah,
because they don't know better.
There you go.
Don't be arrogant to the other viewers, Swis. That didn't end well. No, but
I'm not arrogant to the viewers.
No,
I'm
he
other panelists.
He wasn't arrogant.
No, but our tastes are very different to the mainstream. That is why we only have 9 viewers, and
right.
like
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, but we continue to talk about that, and I think I said it on your stream. People are always confronting me and say, "Oh, you're too weak for YouTube, and you have to put up with certain insults because you wanted to be on YouTube." My motives for being on YouTube are different to, for example, Tim's. I never wanted to make money out of my presence on YouTube. I just enjoy talking watches, and that is why I enjoy spending so much time here with Swis. And we're just talking about unusual watches that we genuinely like, and those are most of the time very different to the watches you see on.
You haven't, due to overexposure, you have not become one of the cult members in the Archieverse, and all you know is Reverso and Men on the Moon and the Rolex lineup, Steel Stunners.
Yeah.
And anything
Because
else that doesn't fit that pattern or his choices is never discussed.
yeah, I can only speak for myself, and I made it
Right.
very clear right from the beginning. And that is when the story started, that I hate Archie. I don't hate many people, and I don't hate Archie, but I said it right from the beginning. I will never show up on Archie's panel because I know he will abuse me sooner or later.
Yeah, if you showed any of these watches today, he'd be calling you. He'd be making fun of you and
Yeah.
insulting you, right?
Yeah. So why should it? Why should I?
Yeah,
Doesn't make
I'm
sense.
a fan of Archie since the beginning, maybe 13 years ago. Some people say, "Oh, he crappy hates Archie." No, never. I mean, there's some things he does that I find unsavory, and I've told him so on the show
Yep.
or in the comments. But overall, the entertainment value is compelling, if you can believe it. And no, that's the wrong word. It's riveting. To use
You
the
love
word, the special
riveting.
word of the year. It's riveting, and he has a style. So, yeah, everything is riveting now. So,
Okay, Swiss, I think we are going to wrap it up. It's almost midnight here in Europe.
Yep, I agree.
Or do you have something riveting?
No, I was just
Crappy?
looking at the other auctions, but nothing
I have a
too
question.
special.
One last question for Swiss.
Maybe this one for you, Jonathan. Yes, I'm listening.
Swiss and John, what do you think of luxury watches, regardless of the brand? I think Ulysse Nardin and Mont Blanc included, and other brands. They only have an hour and minute hand and no seconds hand or subdial seconds, just the two hands.
Yeah.
And my opinion is, well, if I'm buying a watch, I want a seconds hand because it's important to me. Why would people buy a watch without a seconds hand and spend so much money, for a gold or platinum watch, but it's missing a hand? Can't they stick the seconds hand on there? What's the reasoning for not including it on some of those watches?
There is a good reason. Swiss, do you want to tell him or?
I'm okay with no seconds hands, to be honest.
No,
Why
but
would they
there
offer? Why would companies offer that on expensive watches as well?
So one of the most famous non-secondhand watches is the AP Royal Oak, the original one. And the reason why it doesn't have a second hand is the movement is super flat. So to keep the profile super flat, you're trying to get rid of that central second hand, and you're trying to get rid of the mechanism and the pivots that are on the movement side. So without a second, you can usually make watch movements slimmer, thinner.
Well, I never knew that either.
That is a practical reason.
But why would okay, so it can be slimmer, but is that
Yes.
an inducement enough for someone to spend big bucks on a luxury watch and say, well, it's 1 millimeter slimmer, I'll get this?
Well, if you want a certain movement, and the JLC 920 is a very high demanded movement, that watch started to be super extra slim, and it made career then in the Nautilus, in the Royal Oak, and other watches. And people want this particular movement, and you can't get it with a second hand.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good answer. I learned something else. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Other than that, it's just pure taste. Some people may argue and tell you, I can't see my watch working without a second hand.
Yeah, right.
To those, I tell you, well, you can put it on at your ear and listen if it ticks or not. So the functional aspect doesn't really count to me. And the rest is aesthetic and personal taste.
Well, yeah, I'm very open if they want. Look, if somebody wants to make the watch without a seconds hand, and somebody out there wants to buy it, then it's all good. I would not buy it, but that's okay. No problem.
So, Swiss, you wanted to show me a watch, the Rolex GMT?
No. I'm just I'm just doing my thing over here. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
You're
to
just
show.
browsing. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have a very kind comment from Gentleman Masterclass. If I ever did a live show on my channel, I would only have Swis and John on as guests and no one else in the watch community, and the word Archie would be banned.
Yeah, way to go.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think we are gonna wrap it up here. So thank you, Crappy
Crappy.
Luxury,
Yeah,
for
thanks
joining
very
us
much.
tonight.
Good show.
Thank you very much for hopping on. Please stay after we close.
Right,
Maybe
okay.
we exchange one or two words.
Okay.
To everybody else, we also would like to thank OC for hopping on.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
for everybody who watched us. It was very good to see Mr. GMT on. Swis, maybe you post the link again, or I do it?
Yeah, sure.
Just in case that somebody wants to speak with us after the show. Thank you very much again to you, Crappy, and hope to see you all on the next show. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Bye-bye, everyone.